just like that. So the other day we were brush hogging the trail here and we came across the little blockade. We've got this this big maple that's across the trail. So we're going to put on our PPE and get that taken care of. I don't like to carry too much fuel in my saw when it's sort of in the little saw haul thing because it likes to drain it out. So let's get her filled up here with good fuel and some bar oil, and we'll get her going from there. One thing I always recommend wearing, especially when you're far out by yourselves, is a good pair of chaps. Yes, that's chaps, not chaps, for those of you that are used to calling it that. But let me learn you a little something. The word chaps derives from the Spanish word chaparro, which basically means thorny brush. So that's how chaps got their name. So let's take this over here and get started. So the first thing before cutting is you want to examine what it is that you're going to cut. You want to look around and make sure there's not going to be any obstacles in the way, and you want to kind of see what it's going to do as you're cutting. As I look at this maple right here, it's still sort of attached to the trunk over that way. It's hung up on this tree on this side. It has some branches in the ground on that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the ends that are on the far end of this tree that it's hung up on, and then sort of work my way back from there. Here we go. Basically, I'm cutting this up to get it out of my way so I can get over here to this piece that's hung up in the tree, get that cut off, and then work back through. It's always good to clear out stuff that can trip you up, especially when you need an escape exit on something like this. So that's all I'm doing here, is just kind of moving that out of the way. And we'll see if we can't knock this down off the edge of this tree without getting it dropped on us. Right up the just like that. All right, now all we have to do is cut this in chunks, and we'll use the tractor to move her out of the way, and then sometime later we'll come back and cut it up for firewood. It's not going to be any good for anything from here back for any boards or anything like that. It's just all firewood, the rest of it. So I'm just going to cut this little limb off here, make a big chunk here, push that log out of the way, and then we can cut the rest of this up and get it off the side, make it easier to pick up for firewood later. that should be enough chunks that I can get these pushed away with the tractor. I can set that log off to the side. Let's get the tractor start up and get after it. We want to put this in a nice easy location. We can come back for it later and make firewood out of it. I'll tell you what, this Grapple is something I would highly recommend for anybody who's looking to get a tractor. It's like Frank's Red Hot. I put it on and everything. Heavier, a little bit often. Go ahead. Put this one right in here like this. And this little round I got here. Piece that was broken off. All right. Now this big boy. See if we can push this off of that stump, or if I'm going to have to go cut it. This grapple, I can get all this stuff on out of my way. Going to be a little too heavy. Yeah. He won't lift it. There we are. We're going to hook the chain on it and try to drag it up the trail a little bit. Barely bear hug that thing. That's how big around it is. And of course, I need a little bit more slack. So, Gotta pull up with that. This is one you gotta be careful with. You really don't want to put yourself in between something that is heavy enough to crush you and another thing that's heavy enough that it's not going to move. So make sure that brake's good. You got a chock in the wheel or that front implement buried in the ground. You definitely don't want to get trapped in between those two. Remove this chain repositioned here. Usually I use a choker so it'll slide a little bit and move, but I didn't have that one on me today. I didn't think I was going to be leaving this big of a trunk. Slide a little bit there. Heavy. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna have to strap on the other side of it, pull it down. Well, we're gonna have to reposition, get on the downhill side of it, pull it downhill. Another tip when you're trying to fish chain underneath something is that you can get you a stick and put it on that hook and shove it up underneath. Then you'll have it on the other side. Hook her up and go. So we're going to try to pull this one away around this way so at least it's parallel with the trail. It's out of the trail. We can come back later and get it. All right, that ought to do it. It's enough out of the trail where we can still get by here and we can continue brush hogging. So there it is, folks. You don't have to get the whole kitchen sink in one day. Basically, I'm sure as many of you know before, all you have to do is get it out of the way so you can get access to the area that you want to, and you can come back and clean it up at a later date. I try to, like, you know, save stuff that's big and long we can put on the sawmill, make boards out of it. Everything else I chop up, make into firewood. Just all depends on if it's rotten in the middle or not. It might become firewood too, who knows. But if you like what you saw, make sure to like, subscribe, and thank you. Bye bye now.